biodiesel. And we established this company in 2007 with the idea that biodiesel was being produced in the United States, but the trouble was getting it directly to the consumer with infrastructure was a real problem. You had all these producers who didn't have a way to distribute to the average fleet. So we found this site here in Columbus, Ohio, and we decided that we could refit this whole thing to become a biodiesel blending terminal. This is an interesting fact that this terminal has changed hands many times. I think the last owners were actually Enron, and it was also a truck world. It had many different fuel distributions used here. By the time we got to it, it was completely gone to brownfield, so we had to bring it all back to do it. We had this big tank that was what was here for 100 years, but what we did was we insulated it, we reconnected the pipeline, and we used this for the diesel to blend with the biodiesel. So that was the first thing that we did to get a biodiesel blending site here. We're right in the area where all the trucks come through. A lot of fleets are right in our area or within about 10 miles at the most, so we've been able to reach fleets really easily from this location. The next thing we did was we had to bring in smaller tanks that we could heat. Because we're in Ohio and we have a cold winter, we wanted to make sure that we had heated biodiesel. That way, when we went to blend it, we were assured that the blend would be much more emulsified than if we let the biodiesel get cold. It's a real risk when you're in the north. You want to handle the biodiesel in the proper way so that if it stays warm and blends with the diesel, the blend emulsifies so that you don't have to worry once it goes in someone else's tank that you're going to have it split. So we've got 20,000 gallon biodiesel tanks. They're all heated, and we keep them at about 70 to 75 degrees, which works very well with our blending system. Our system is called ratio blending, which means that the biodiesel and the diesel come down two pipes at the same time at a very high velocity. I think it's like somewhere between 400 and 600 gallons a minute. So it's coming down fast. So it's heated, and the additive shoots in as it comes through. So we're shooting additive into the blend as it's blending. So between those three things, heated biodiesel, an additive that's injection blended, we call it, and the third thing being high speed, high pressure blending, it really just kind of solves 90% of the issues you would have with biodiesel. Okay, so for somebody who wants to fuel a fleet that comes in, what they would do is the driver comes in with a big tanker truck or a smaller tanker truck called tank wagon, and they come in, the driver pulls up and can hook up his truck there at the blending and distribution facility right there. And then they come in here, and this is where they decide or they order what they need. So we can do any blend of biodiesel. We can do 5%, 10%, 20%. We do 80% biodiesel for the mines. The mines will run their generators on 80% biodiesel. So what they do is they come in and they type in, we call this like a menu. So they type in the recipe. So it would be like a B20 or B10 or whatever it is that they want and how many gallons. And then it just automatically fuels from that arm over there is what happens. Last winter, City of Columbus decided to go to all 20% biodiesel, and not a single issue. Even fire trucks, everything. So we completely use this year round. And then we have direct customer, and those are our trucks over there. We've got 2 tank wagons and 2 transports, and those are the ones we use. We've got 3 drivers, 4 trucks, and we deliver direct to customers tanks. If they have a tank on site, we can deliver to anyone who has a tank on site. trucks who like to use biodiesel who don't have their own tanks on site. And there's a lot of them, even right in this section right here. There's Rush Trucking, there's a whole bunch of different ones that don't have their own tanks, and they just go to the gas station. So they just use the truck stop, like they use Pilot or something like that. So if it's convenient, and we're gonna give out cards, so it's gonna be considered a private fueling station is what it'll be. So they'll have to get cards, and they'll have to sign up and all that type of thing. And then once they do that, they'll be able to use this lane. We've got this lane now that we just built. I mean, they literally just finished putting in the electric and everything yesterday. So they'll be able to pull up. There'll be two, they can fuel from both sides. So this is our first very direct customer area that we can use. So fleets can sign up and use it. And you know, the nice thing about it is you don't have to sign up your whole fleet. You know, most of the time it's like the whole fleet has to decide at the same time, yeah, we're all gonna use biodiesel. This would be a great for fleets that are like, you know what, we'll send a couple trucks over, we'll try it out, we'll do some of our fleet, half our fleet. You know, we find that people really like it once they use it. But this would be a nice place for people to test it and also just to, you know, put their foot in the water.